Today I am getting ready for work, but I wanted to talk about an update with the investigations into Indian boarding schools here in the United States, and also talk about my dad. So, the Road to Healing tour is part of the Truth and Healing Commission's investigation into what took place and the history and the impact of Indian boarding schools here in the United States. And they made their stop in Alaska yesterday. They held a listening session to listen to descendants and survivors, and my dad was there. That's him, Bob Sam. He was even featured in the main photo for Native News Online's coverage, and I am thrilled to see him honored for the work that he has been doing for a long time. So it was the 10th listening session in the year-long Road to Healing tour of Native communities. The listening session was led by Deb. The article goes on to share some photos. So my dad works in repatriation for our tribe. He also does a lot of work with historical archives. He advocates for the treatment of dignity for Indigenous remains that are recovered at sites. And he assists with repatriation processes to bring our ancestors home. He's been doing this work my whole life. My grandma attended Wrangell Institute in Alaska. And that's her with my dad. It was operated by the Bureau of Indian Affairs for natives of Alaska. It operated from 1932 until 1975. The Wrangell Institute was established in 1932 by the United States Bureau of Indian Affairs. And in its first year, it had 71 students. It was described as one of the pet projects of the Roosevelt administration. Children were forced by the BIA to attend school. They were removed from their homelands and forbidden from speaking their language. And in cases were sexually abused. This is the youngest photo I have ever seen of my grandmother. She never spoke of school, and she did her best to make sure that her 10 children were never forced to go. I don't know all of the details of what my family went through during that time. There are things that the family still doesn't talk about. This was one of the last times I was with my grandma before she passed away. These bracelets are the last gifts that I have from her. And sometimes you'll see me wearing them in videos. So this article was from the year my mom and my dad met while he was on an international tour with Nakahiti Theater performing traditional storytelling live, and he met my mom on that tour. They got along well. They weren't expecting a baby though, so along I came, regardless of anyone being prepared for it or not. Story of my life. First 6 years of my life, I was living in Sitka with my Alaska family, and I visited a few times since. I want to go back more often, but it is very expensive. So, yeah, my dad is a traditional storyteller and a graveyard caretaker. I hung out with him in the graveyard a few times, cleaning gravestones. He didn't used to have a whole lot of help, but now he does. And if this reaches anyone who has been helping my dad, thank you. Thank you. So, yeah,